What up, though? Lad cheer, chill with me. Wake y'all asses up. Wake up. Good morning, battle rap. Good morning, battle rap world. Before we get into it, want to let you know that after this segment, this opening monologue, you'll be tuned in to one of my favorite interviews I've had in quite some time with Four Horsemen member who's on a run and seems very hard to get up out of here. The one and only Loso, Tampa representative, proud Tampa representative. So yeah, the people wanted him, the people got him. Loso is on the show after this opening monologue. I do want to give a quick shout out to the content creators out here that's doing work. Most notably Jay from Rap Redux. Yo, Jay, if you're listening, you were mentioned in the Loso conversation. So if you listening early, don't just give me that 2 minutes to click and say you was here. If you was really here, you would know you was mentioned. I'm not even gonna tag you and let you know you was mentioned. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out if you know about this. Shout out to Jay, man, over there, man, in England, holding it down with some of the best content in battle rap. Shout out to Mr. Temperature Check, Frustration Q, just quality content, down to earth, brother. Man, it's good just to see people getting rewarded who's not coming here for drama. I always say I'm here to cover the show. I'm not here to be the show. Like, I'm not the star. I'm here to cover the stars. And I feel like Frustration Q is of that same cloth and ilk, and it's what is much appreciated. It's an enjoyable listen and watch. So shout out to you guys. And of course, Let's Talk Battle Rap, my favorite podcast, friends. Still gonna count Vlad in there. Y'all can't stop me. Still gonna name Vlad. Shout out to Vlad wherever you are. Hope you doing well, my brother. CC, Tim the Genius, Dylan. Their whole staff is just amazing. So shout out to them. And yeah, man, just everybody who's out there doing their thing. Guys, Kingofthedot announced on Friday, so pretty much the start of the weekend for many, a season, the first ever battle rap season. And while the trailer, if you've seen the trailer, kind of gave you a little bit of kind of explanations on what's going on, little details here and there. Please, I'm not just saying it because it's my channel and it happened here, but check out the YouTube page and go to the organic interview where he explains it in a little more detail. There's still some things that haven't been ironed out, but it's much more detailed than what the trailer would give you. And I appreciate him for giving me his time. And we was up late getting that done for you all. As far as questions go, I know some probably wanted some other type of questions, but let me be the first on record. I found out soon as he cammed up, this is what's going on. Boom, record. So I thought I did pretty well for that short amount of time of knowledge. I'm pretty sure there was, if I had ample amount of time, not even a day, just if you gave me an hour to know what was going on, I probably could have stirred up a lot more questions and a lot more questions that the people probably would have wanted to hear. But I think I did as well as possible. And if you haven't heard, because it's a pretty long, not too long, maybe 20 plus minutes of the interview, you don't want to hear about that, then just listen here. Here's a snippet of basically summarizing some of the important details of what this new season will be about. How are they getting penalized in this format for underperforming, choking, and things of that nature?
You don't make the playoffs, man. And that's what we made. Of course, everybody's paid, on the contracts for the battles to do, but the big prizes are coming in the playoffs. It benefits them too. They get a little structure to what's going on in their career. They're going to know who they battle and when they battle almost 5 months in advance for some of their battles. Each battle they'll have 2 months preparation time. So we've stretched it out. So there is no rushing the rappers, nothing like that. So to be honest with you, man, like the goal is for next year, let's get a season popping on the other side of the world too. And we make it a worldwide thing, right?
So are you making sure that they don't have any other obligations during this run? Like, how's that working?
Look, I'm not going to make people sign exclusive contracts. I'm just not going to do that because, some people are needing this as a way to pay their bills, especially during COVID and times where opportunities have been taken away from people.
Like, you heard it from the man. You heard it from the man. Again, I want to I appreciate his time, and shout out to the whole staff over there, King, Fly, Gully, J Pro, Rigo. They do an amazing job over there. I'm curious to see, and he said it. He pretty much said it. The roster, it's gonna be some top tier. It's gonna be some guys who haven't got the shine but are very dope. Hopefully, it's a nice mix of women involved in this season as well, because the women, they deserve these opportunities to get a bag of this magnitude. You know, they put they sweat and tears and pen into this just like everybody else do. So I want to see that. And I thought a very notable thing was the judges getting paid, because that puts a lot of pressure on them. I'm sure they're happy that they're getting paid, but at the same time, if you're a judge, there's no room for error, because you've been paid to be on your game. So if you're not, you're going to hear about it from not only the fans and supporters, but the media, fellow battle rappers who are in the tournament and who are just watching. So whoever the judges are, I hope you guys are ready. Please don't give me a frack and disaster situation where one of the judges say, I've never seen frack before. Do your research and check these all, because you're going to know before we know who is all in this tournament, right? In this season, right? So do your research. Don't just go into there not knowing who these people are. Their battles on YouTube is free. YouTube is free. I think this is great. How you feel about it is kind of irrelevant. I'm not, and when I say irrelevant, that sounds like I'm shitting on you. But what I mean is, if you don't want to give this a chance and want to, kind of crap on it before you even see what it's like, then you're not really for battle rap being progressive and showing progression. You get what I'm saying? Because if this works, everybody wins. People as media, the fans win. I want to win as a consumer before this media platform stuff. Like, as a consumer, because much like Champion of the Year that started, shout out to Jay Black, he said it when he first did Champion of the Year, when he first announced it. It drives the incentive up of the MCs to bring quality performances. Now, we all know, even with the Champion of the Year, that hasn't always happened. Some people don't really get motivated by the bag like that. I'm not going to say any names. We know. We've seen it. Right? But you would think most of them would be like, yo, 100K on the line, I'm about to be the best version of myself. And the more different leagues start doing things like this, we only benefit from it. Well, they benefit from it because they can get it back. The league benefits from it, of course. But what I mean is, we benefit from it without having to put anything in. Like, we're just consumers watching. So it's going to be on Twitch every Sunday. More free content, so I'm with it. Again, sponsors can get behind things like this because it's official. There's records. And I've been pro judges before this started kicking off. And I was saying this on my show when it was just audio only and people didn't know who I was. And everybody was against me, like, that's crazy. We don't want that. But if you want battle rap to go to the next level, it's like a trickle-down effect. Sponsors get invested. Sponsors give you more cash. More cash means they're able to pay for the type of matchups that we truly want. All these mega matches that has yet to happen, they can happen a little more quicker and easier because the money is there for it to happen. The stage is set for it to happen. So it's a trickle down effect, and it all lands to us being like entertained. So, do you want? I don't want to name any of those. You remember the old brands that were sponsoring battles, but those big sponsors, like, we're not about to put our money in what is pretty much a glorified exhibition. So you want vitamin water, or I don't know, Monster Energy drink, Coca, I don't know, I'm just naming beverages because I'm a little thirsty right now. But you want those big time sponsors to rock with you, get them something, let them know this is a tournament, this is a season, there's a playoffs, there's a championship, there's a grand prize at the end. They're like, ooh, we can get behind that. So, I just want to applaud them and many others. Shout out to Premier Battles. Premier Battles is also doing the tournament. And as I said, I needed the beverage. My wife comes up with this. Look at that. Look how God works. Look how God works for me. So yeah, I think that more of the same should happen around all the leagues. Don't have to be to this magnitude. It doesn't have to be for this amount of money, right? Because different leagues are working with different types of budgets, right? But I think each league should try at least some sort of it, even if it's a small condensed tournament. I remember when quarantine first started and people were quarantining. Shout out to 4MCs, by MCs. They had a little mini tournament at their people was rapping from their houses. I think MT Money wound up winning. I was a judge for that. It was pretty dope. So, excuse me, shout out to them. I just think everybody should try a little tournament with a little incentive to kind of just raise the stakes and see are we can these MCs give us the best version of themselves? So everybody can win. So the league can win, they can win, and we can win as consumers and watching this and enjoying it, and media can talk about it, openly, honestly, and favorably. All right. That's it. That's my take. That's my opening monologue. Now it's time to get into a really, really dope top 2 or 3 interviews I've ever done. It was almost like a battle rapping beyond, version of what I do on Caffeine, man. It's with the one and only Loso, where we talk about everything from his past battle with Chess, his battle coming up with Hustle, Champion of the Year talk, sports, his show on Caffeine, everything under the sun, man. One of my favorite interviews. Check it out and enjoy. Be right back. Yo, welcome back to Good Morning Battle Rap. I told you guys I was going to bless the people. Voted on by you, the people, from the people, for the people. You guys voted, and we got him. Mr. Loso, Horseman, representative. Florida is in the building. Tampa, to be exact. My brother, welcome, man.
Man, thank you so much for having me on the show, bro. What's good, man?
Yo, man, it's an honor, man. You've been on a run. I had to get you, man, because, battle versus Chess, a top battle of the year contender. Because we're going to do that at the end of the year. That's going to be high up there. It's going to be hard to really beat that one. Tell me the feedback you've been getting from that, because it seems pretty positive. Like I see a lot of people.
Yeah, what's crazy, man? So unfortunately, right, we're in an era where everything is on the app now, right? And so every battle you're technically like previously, my mindset going into negotiations with a league, if you wanted me to do a judged battle, that's a different negotiation than a non-judge battle. And the reason for it is because you're asking me to put like an automatic L on my record, no matter what, or automatic W, you know what I'm saying? And so it has to be a little more. So for instance, the only other, I think I had a judge battle with Daylight. Now that's Daylight, right? And so and we did it for, I think it was $1,500 or $2,000 extra on top of our pay. So the winner got that extra. So I did that, right? I signed up for that. That was cool. But I've been asked a couple of times, and for me, it just needs to be a little more incentives than just, hey, you just win. You just kind of do that, because you're asking a lot. Like every time we get on stage, Ledge, it's basically a job interview for my next battle. That's what I'm basically doing. So every time I get on stage, my Vixen performance was my job interview for basically a gnome spot. You know what I'm saying? Because Chess was originally, booked before Vixen, but the world doesn't look like that. So it was an interview for the Chess, and then my performance for Chess is an interview, one, to you guys, to the fans, and to the media, right? So that you guys can go ahead and petition for Loso. Hey, yo, we want to see Loso again. We want to see Loso get bigger plays. We want to see Loso get bigger opportunities. And then you put URL, you put the other leagues in position and be like, okay, we got to invest in this guy. And so I'm getting to the point. So for instance, like the Nun battle, right? When I battle Nun, obviously that's Ultimate Madness. And for me, I did the tournament because at the time I was like, oh, this is something that I just can't pass on. And I just had in my mindset, like, I'm gonna just run through the tournament. That's an easy 25K. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so now, granted, even though people have me winning on the app pretty convincingly with the numbers, and even though people have said, quote unquote, you should have won or whatnot, at the end of the day, Ledge, for the rest of my life, I have to wear the fact that I lost the judges' vote. I lost the fan vote, which ultimately had me losing the battle to Nun. Nun beat Loso in the tournament. And so that's a judge battle, right? And so I could go back and forth and debate with you about the particulars on, okay, it was this or it was that or whatnot, or look, I won on the app. So like it is what it is. And so now the app has its own its own entity now, right? Like if you are an app subscriber, if you're App Gang, you get to go ahead and decide who gets what record. And now some battlers, they just don't care, right? Like for instance, K-Shine, if I remember correctly, he has a losing record on the app, but it doesn't affect K-Shine. You want to see K-Shine every time. And K-Shine's still going to get the daylights. He's going to get the hollows. He's going to get those guys. He's going to be, because he just has a long legacy. However, though, guys like myself, I would say, or dudes who kind of in the last couple of years have been put in a position of like, yo, losses don't really go well with our names to the culture. We don't have that leg room. And so I was 6-0 on the app. And so, like I said, granted, it's been nothing but love, but on the app, let's talk battle rap. Shout out France. You can't take the good and the bad. Like if Let's Talk Battle Rap praises you on one post, you got to take it forever. And so he's put up that, Chess has officially snapped Loso's win streak on the app as far as it's concerned. But I feel like it's one of those battles, bro, where like I would compare it to Real Sick and Chilla, where like even though Chilla kind of convincingly won on the app votes, all it did was make you want to watch Sick again. Like it was no slight to even like Real Sick has a losing record on the app. But you wouldn't know that by just saying his name. You wouldn't know that by just watching his performance, right? Like we had him losing to Kid Chaos, Jada Nightwing, Chilla Jones, and it's really his only win at the time was B Magic. He's got another win with Mike P. And so so for me, coming off this chess battle, I was in the back of my mind, I'm not gonna front. I did want that 7-0 because that would have gave me the second best winning percentage as far as undefeated records, so it would be right under Jada Nightwing's 11-0. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's wild to me because like, how do you determine the official? Like, is there a time cap on how many people can vote on the app before they say, okay, this is the official record? Because it's
you're right. So like for instance, like it hasn't even been a week since Chess and I've dropped. Yeah, but I guess I'm guessing like, so there's still fans who hit me up as like, yo, I thought I was voting when I was hitting the app reactions. And I was like, nah, that's not voting. You have to click on the name. Yeah. But I think when Let's Talk Battle Rap posted, it was kind of like, well, Chess is up by like 300 votes. And so just based off of, I'm thinking, because he's in like the conversations on how this app works. And so I'm going to assume that he knows like, yo, after a certain amount of time, the interaction with a particular battle doesn't continue to grow afterwards. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be very rare that we're just going to get 200, 300 votes all of a sudden, unless they just drop it somewhere else, unless they just start promoing again. Yeah. But regardless though, man, like you said, bro, the love, it's been like nonstop. It's been people telling me like, yo, this was, and a lot of it got to, a lot of it has to do, Ledge, with the fact that we went, if you're an App Gang member, you went about 10 days without a battle, bro, without a drop from URL. And they usually drop one Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Take the weekend off, Monday, Wednesday, right? Like you get that with the 8-month subscription. The problem is you got the UM3 first round, and everybody was like, yo, well, before the UM3 first round, where's Loso and Chess? Because we had been did it. Then they were waiting for it, right? You got the Ultimate Madness 3. Then after that, you're still waiting for Loso Chess. Nothing. Then they drop Loso and Chess. They take it off 3 minutes later. They drop Rada and None, and people are still like, nah, like we need this battle. And so because people were they were anticipating this battle so much, and it lived up to what their anticipation was, it's been nothing but praise, even though you kind of quote unquote have to say like, well, I had such and such winning, or I had such and such winning. So it's both. I've been getting a lot of people saying, yo, Loso, I feel like you won all three. I feel like you edged 2-1. I feel like this, And so regardless though, this has been a bittersweet process for me because I'm usually on the majority side. But nonetheless, man, it's just one of those great battles that you just look back and you say like, man, I'm glad I was a part of.
Yeah, please, if you guys haven't, get the app for battles like these, man. High replay. I love battles with replay value all the way through. This is like one of those rare occasions, man. High replay value. City Chess did his thing. Loso did his thing. For the record, I'm not just saying it because he's here. I personally did have you winning. I want to say I edged you round 1 and gave you round 3, I believe. It was round 1 and 3. But nonetheless, salute to Chess for sure, because that was a stellar performance. Battling guys like Chess, because you know what the angle is, and I don't know if anybody asked you this before. Does that kind of damper the you as far as you writing? Because when I asked that, I'm saying like he knows what they're going to say to him probably. Like, does it make you lose like creativity? Because and I asked you that because the whole time I feel like you pretty much got to sit here and counter write as opposed to being the aggressor and coming out the gate. Like, does that kind of get boring? I don't know if anybody ever asked you. I try to not ask questions everybody asked before.
Nah, that's a good question, Ledge. So if you listen to my material, right, my third round is kind of almost like that. It's counter writing where I'm like, yo, you got questions for God? The difference is I took my questions to God. And so like I'm breaking down. That's why like if you see Chess and people don't really take, so like I always want people to understand like, yo, there's a method to all the madness that I'm writing, that everything, like don't just think I'm just rapping up there. Not one word is aimless up there. So for instance, there's a segment in my third where I'm saying I'm angry. And so I'm breaking down all the different things that I'm angry at in my life. And so I'm showing people that there's a humanity side of Loso as well, right? Even though I'm a Christian, there's questions that I have for God as well. Here's the thing though, it's a flip. If you watch Chess's third, I think it was his second or his third round for Saga, he has a segment where I'm angry and he's hitting Saga with the same thing. That's why when you watch the battle in my third round and I'm hitting Chess with the I'm angry part, you see Chess start smiling up there because he knows exactly. And that's you 9 times out of 10, my lines are for my opponent. So I want them to recognize. And so it resonated with Chess and he knew exactly where it was coming from. The fans, unfortunately, I don't expect them to have like a photographic memory every time. It's like, oh yeah, this is from.
But that was a significant part in that battle. So I knew that
was. So if people knew like, yo, if Loso and Chess was coming up here, then of course the conversation was almost gonna bleed through going into this one. And so, when I do that, I knew I was counter writing, but at the same time, I don't necessarily get frustrated with it. I do get. I just want to have a conversation with the fans, like. Yo, at one point, like, do you guys just want different battlers asking the same things? Or like, is there a different conversation? Because my thing is like I remember like 3 Letterman, he wrote me and he said, man, I really love the way that Chess structured his second round for Loso. And I just asked him, I said, okay, what about it specifically? He said, well, about the women inside, where like the women in Christianity and then this and then that. And I almost responded, but I didn't. And I just wanted to be like, did you not watch me and B-Dot? Did you not watch me and Jay Murder? Did you not watch me? And so I could have went down the different conversations of where like other battlers have had those same
similar concepts, just different messengers.
Similar concepts. But at the end of the day, Ledge, Disaster said this to me when he first met me in Toronto on Blackout, right? And he said, understand that you're basically giving people a free angle, right? So like when you get battlers, there's certain things that you can talk about. Like with Loso, if I wasn't a Christian, you'd be like, what angle are you really gonna take? The Hispanic, the Latino route? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but like it's gonna be difficult. So, but because I'm a Christian, it opens all these doors for my opponent to talk, even though it's not necessarily directly applicable. How does the Last Supper, the women serving the men at the Last Supper, how is that really taking energy off my bar? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that really making you look at Loso different? Like, man, when he raps next time, I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily cheer for these bars because yada yada yada. But like for me, when I'm structuring different things and I'm taking, yo, Chess, remember that washcloth that you shook the room with about, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that little, you've been struggling and getting washed with a little material. Like I'm taking that, like when I'm putting that together, that type of writing, and it's specifically catered for you, then I'm like, okay, because like that's the only thing. So it's not necessarily for my opponent that I get frustrated with, because it is a free angle. It's like, all right, cool. I expect y'all to do it. I just want the creativity to go to another level. And I want to ask the fans, like, are y'all still entertained with that? And if y'all are, then I can't necessarily get mad. But
yeah, no, I definitely want to see somebody, hit you with something that we've never seen before, kind of like when Saga when that beat out for the whole football players stuff and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I was like, ooh, this is a little left, but I like it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
so, I'm looking forward to that. But also, man, your run doesn't stop, man. You got Miss Hustle coming up,
yeah.
and it seemed like I feel like it's almost like you're going on a revenge tour or something.
Oh,
So like he's like Chess is for the Saga, and now you
yeah,
got Hustle, who's she seen what you did to Vixen. We all seen what you did to
yeah,
Vixen.
yeah,
Love you,
yeah.
Vixen. You my homie. Uh, do you prepare for this one the same? Because they do have similar attributes, albeit they're different.
Yeah.
Like, but they're both wild aggressive. They're very entertaining. They can perform with their bars. Is it similar, or is there more tweaks you have to do than what people think?
Man, I try to make sure that there's something, that there's something that stands out. So for instance, like with my chess battle, I needed certain bars, and it almost seems like even if people had chess edging out the battle, right? Let's say people had chess edging out the battle. At least for me, just from what I'm watching, it seems like the most quoted lines though are coming from my side, and it's like the Loso. When you said this, when you said that, it's like a moment, and so you can't. I remember Eminem saying like when he writes an album, like it's difficult to go like, how do I write another I am who I say that I am, or another lose yourself? Like you go into your next album, you try to do that, and so you try to duplicate this capsule of greatness. And for me, when I battled Vixen, very few battlers get this, but it's almost like you put a dent into battle rap history. And when I did the J Black Smack White second round joint, it almost like I put a dent I put my footprint in it, right? And so now that's like the rubric, or that's like the standard that I've set for myself. And so granted, I was able to uphold it with the chess, but for the Hustle joint, people are gonna want to see like, okay, how does that conversation translate? And so with Hustle, I'm still in the moment where I'm trying to figure out what's the conversation that I want to have with her. How is it relevant to this? Do I want to go ahead and bring anything from the Vixen battle? Is there something fresh? Is there something new? Is there something I could take from her Aver battle? And so, but there are small things as far as like her aggression, right? I think her aggression is up there with Vixen. I think both of them, when they're on 10, they're some of the greatest female battlers that I've ever been in front of. But her aggression, she stands tall. Like stature is a thing in battle rap. It makes people look crazy, you know what I'm saying, when they're just towering over you. So her stature up there, her delivery, like when she's in her zone, it can come off like it can get really spooky for people. And so I need to find ways to counter that. And that's my whole thing. Do I want to go out there and just go stand face to face with Hustle and do that? Or is there a different approach? And so I do think that it's going to be a whole different conversation than what Vixen is. And my approach with Vixen was twofold. I wanted to put the pressure on her. I wanted her to feel me right here. And then also I wanted Vixen to know, because she kept saying that she can write just as good as me or better than me. And that whole battle, I wanted her to know, like, no, you can't. Unfortunately, I love you, but you can't. And so that was what I want to do. And so for Hustle, it may be a difference. It may be something different. And so I'm excited for that one though. It's in the South. It's in Bullpen. Where I'm that's my home and stuff like that.
Do you feel pressure being like you're the favorite? It's on your league where you're like, one of the faces, and it's in the South. Like, you feel any extra added pressure?
And she's a star. She's a female star, bro. I mean, Meek Mill just posted her the other day on his Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So,
didn't know that.
Yeah. So Meek Mill was posted. So you see that like people know her. So there is pressure, man. There is pressure there. But I end up just feeling a little extra. I just feel a little more comfortable when I'm in Atlanta, bro. Atlanta's like the as far as battle rap's concerned, it raised me. You know what I'm saying? That's where I got my name at. That's where I made a stamp for myself in this culture. And so I just feel a little comfortable in there. And even though people are going to be rooting for her, I think I'm going to be in a good situation.
Yeah, man. Again, Bullpen, it's on the 29th. More announcements to be made, so please stay tuned for that. Bullpen is one of some
exciting announcements, bro. I know them, bro, but there's a particular battle that I think is going to be very, 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 very fun when John announces it, man.
See, all right, yeah, and I gotta find out shortly. I gotta find, but champion of the year, man. I want to talk about that because
Yeah.
you definitely are a strong candidate this year.
Yeah.
Over the past few years, you've been just outside the top 10 a few times.
And 3 times, bro.
That's
12.
tough.
It was 11,
Was
12, 2 11s and 112.
112? Yeah, yeah.
112.
I see what you did there. That's my
Yeah,
group
come on,
too.
bro.
What do you think is going to take for you to crack that top 10 this year? Because I felt like you. I feel like you was. I think I wouldn't when I ended having you like 8 or 9. So I
Yeah.
felt you were top 10 last year. But what do you feel you got to do differently this time?
You know what it is? It's always the conversation going into the year. So, for instance, in 2020, I just felt like, I'm gonna be honest, bro. That none loss made people think that I didn't have a good year. It changed the trajectory of what could have been. Like, so, but even before you see that, like I was putting in work before that, right? And I was putting in work after that with my Rada battle, with my Cali Smooth battle, with Emerson Kennedy at the Murder Mook anniversary card. Like, when you look on paper, you're like, wait, Loso did all this? Now, if you're just running off the top, that's why, like with A Ward, right? A Ward in that particular year, he ends up being 20, right? Now, granted, I felt like he at least should have been like 15 or 16.
That was crazy.
But when you look, but here's the thing though, the conversation, it was A Ward put out the coffee video first round, right? Because Coffee Brown didn't show up to his battle.
Right.
So it's circulating on social media. So you see like, yo, he's a really, really good battle rapper. Look at all the great material. He had some crazy one-rounders. He had this, he had that. But I understand why when they looked on paper, it wasn't translating to a higher number on their rankings. But when you looked at the fan rankings, Ledge, A Ward was ranked number 6 by the fans, because you got to think about it. It's the conversation being had. Absolutely. Where for me, the fans barely had me at 20. The fans barely had me at 20. And then when it got to the guys and they were just deliberating, they almost wanted to kick me out of it. They almost wanted to take Loso out of the conversation of top 20. But when they started looking on paper, Tony Bro even said, he said, yo, my bad. If I would have just went off the media and the conversation being had, I didn't even think Loso had this crazy year. That's why every step you kept seeing, yo, Loso's still here. Loso's still here. I still felt like, me personally, I thought I had a better year than Easy last year. Easy was number 10. I was number 11. I think his biggest win.
That's a tough debate. It was a tough debate.
My only thing was in 2020, beating JC convincingly was more important than him beating Cortez. I just felt like we started lowering the goals a little bit. It was like, okay, I understand, like Easy, don't get me wrong, you did a great performance, but you guys were disrespecting Cortez all year. Since when was beating Cortez? Now, like beating Cortez, like he's on a freaking run right now. But
it means more now, yeah.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. I mean, like, regardless, Easy. But here's the thing: like, he was talked about. He put up the top tier diss record. He's like he was. And so in 2021. So I'm gonna get back to the premise now. 2021, the conversation at the end of 2020 was, damn, Loso still is barely. You got to think about it though, Ledge. I think they went on record and they said 20,000 active battlers around there, active battlers in the world. So to be top 20 is amazing regardless. To be 11, 12 is astonishing. And so for me going into 2021, there's a conversation of like, can Loso, it's like almost like a little joke. Can he finally crack the top 10? But I want to be put in position where at the end of the year, you're having a conversation like, wait, it may be more than top 10. And so I feel like I'm there right now. I feel like I'm stringing together some good wins and some great performances. And so by the end of the year, I want to be there, bro. That's my goal. I got goals this year, and that's why I'm lining up specific battles to put me in that position.
Okay, so I'm glad you asked me. It's like a perfect segue. It's like you should have a show. He does on Caffeine, so check it out. You know what I'm saying? But so it kind of ties into what I was going to ask you. Being that I can sense like you're gunning for that spot to, you deserve it. You put in work. Does that shy you away from the battles that the people want you to get into? Because obviously the situation with Mac Myron. I'm up here in Michigan. People want to see that battle happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know champion of the year talks, and this is no slight. I don't know if even beating him would carry much weight to the people who who run the panel and the fans. I don't know. So does that deter you from that type of battle? Jack Boy also called you out.
Yeah.
Like, is there a certain type of people?
Nah, not necessarily, because I feel like those two guys are unique because they market the hell. Well, they wouldn't. Mac doesn't. I think Mac doesn't do a good job at marketing the way he should. Like, sometimes he just disappears after a good performance. And like, for instance, there's a reason why he's a great battle rapper, but he's never in the top 20. You know what I'm saying? He should be a little more active than what he is. But so I would say though that Jack and Mac though, they're the exception to the rule. Like, you named almost two battlers that I think if I did battle, it would be something to note. It would be something to note because Mac is a grudge match, right? And grudge matches are just like, you just love them. You know what I'm saying? That's why Ace Amin and John was such a big deal. It did the numbers it did. Even though Ace Amin doesn't have that much.
Do you feel like you and Mac is a grudge match though? Because I feel like it's been pretty one-sided as far as who's been like.
So I say this, that's a fact, bro. It is totally one-sided on that. It's not. So for instance, I think I've only entertained it one time in person with him, but that was because he was in my face or whatnot. But it's not something that like I need or something like that. I think I would only do it if the situation was right, and somebody wanted. Jack Boy, I think Jack Boy can turn this into a grudge match, and I think I might even entertain because it's on URL, because Caffeine seems to be the stage where, and it doesn't matter whether it's Summer Madness or a super fight. I almost feel like the same amount of people are going to watch the battles no matter what, because it's free content. And so Loso and Jack Boy can kind of, and with Jack Boy kind of like, doing well in the tournament, I think people would be, they'll be leaning towards a battle like that, like this demon, they love that, right? That's why they like the chess battle. That's why they like whatever. Like, they love this, like, yo, he looks evil. Loso is some sort of representation of light and good. So let's go ahead and like mix them together or whatnot. And so because I have goals for this, that doesn't necessarily mean that my mindset is only on Tay-Rock, Chilla, Geechee, and Calico. That's not this. Unfortunately, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do wish that was the case, right?
yeah,
those would be some great plays. But unfortunately, those guys have to say yes as well. And that's so I don't like waiting too long. And so I am locked in for another URL battle. And I'll be honest. I'm gonna be honest, Ledge, and I'm gonna tell your fans as well.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know. they're gonna be happy to see Loso, right? They're gonna be very happy to see Loso. But I'm curious to see what the people, and what even you, I would love for you to text me as soon as this announcement is made. Just your initial thoughts, because this particular guy, I just don't know if, and I did it because it was available. The negotiations were very, very, very.
I'm scared to find out who
enticing.
This is, bro.
It was enticing, you know what I'm saying? So like the situation was dope, and so I just felt like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. And so I am curious to see what you guys think. But like I said, Ledge, if it was up to me, don't get me wrong, URL constantly asks battlers, yo, give me a list of names that you want. And so I've said several times, yo, Averb, Ill Will, Geechee Gotti, I've said O-Red, I've said some guys like that or whatnot. But it almost seems really difficult for me particularly to get there. Maybe because somebody told me like, Los, you're friends with everyone. Like no one dislikes you as far as battlers. And so except for Mac Myron, right? But like all the battlers, they just enjoy you. And so for me, maybe the battles I need to take are maybe like the Kid Chaos and the Real Six and the Danny Myers.
That's what I want to see.
And those guys who like,
I want to see you versus either Easy or Fonz really soon. I feel like that can happen.
Easy and Fonz, like those are easily attainable battles for me. And so they're kind of like they're all popping, especially because of the COVID era. All of them are loved right now.
Absolutely.
And Jada Nightwing, another guy, Jada Nightwing, right? Like all those guys right there.
Fire.
And so Loso has those matches with them. And it's like, can those matches though, it's just weird. Like, what's the narrative gonna be? Like, is it gonna be like, yo, Loso had a real look who he beat, bro. Or look who he went to war with. He went to war with the Lou Castros and the Fonz and the Jada Nightwings. Or am I gonna be penalized for not battling the Geechee Gottis and the Ill Wills and the Aver, like guys who are like legends in their own right? You see what I'm saying? And so I think that, don't get me wrong, me personally, Kid Chaos, Real Sick, those guys, they are 10 times harder to write for than these other guys, bro.
Really? You think so?
Oh my God. But I mean, so I would say, well, maybe not to write for. I got like that. I won't know that until I'm writing, but I will say I am more concerned with what those guys will say to Loso.
To you, okay.
Rather than the other guys. Because you got to think about it. Like what Chess said to Loso, I knew exactly he was going to say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real Sick and Kid Chaos, they're going to cater something up where they're gonna make you view Loso differently than what you viewed him before I stepped on stage. But vice versa, vice versa. Like they know that. They know Loso is going to go up there and craft something together that's gonna make you look at Kid Chaos, look at Real Sick, look at Easy, Lou, Fonz, look at Jada Nightwing differently than when before. You see what I'm saying? Rather than if I would have just battled O-Red. You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's always different. It's always difficult when you're like the guy with the longer tenure in the game, because they gonna always have more material to pull from to write for you, right? Mm-hmm. So man.
But me personally, Ledge, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you told me, it's a both end. If you told me, Los, you got Rum Nitty and you got Kid Chaos, Rum Nitty would be more difficult to write for. Right? Because I think I would have a lot more material to talk to Kid Chaos about. Rum Nitty would be a lot more difficult to write for because he doesn't really have anything like going against him. And he's very, very loved, right? And his name is Rum and it's been flipped so many times. So it's going to be difficult to write for Rum. But if you're talking about on the defensive end, I am more concerned with what Kid Chaos is going to tell me than I am with what Rum Nitty's going to tell me. Rum Nitty's going to go ahead and kill me for 3 rounds in the most amazing way. Don't get me wrong. He's going to flip. He's going to flip Horse and Loso and Puerto Rico, whatever. Like, he's going to do that in the most amazing way. But I am thinking, I'm trying to play the defensive end. Defensively, I'm trying to think, damn, Real Sick and Chaos and Jada Nightwing, they're able to go ahead and craft things like so beautifully, bro. Like Iron Solomon, like in this age, where like you should be concerned. You should be concerned as a battler.
Yes, wow. You and Solomon would be dope too. That's just came out of my head. That a legend like that don't get you in the top 10. Then I don't know. Last few questions though, because I do want to get off of this. Your caffeine show, man. For those who aren't familiar with what you got, what you're doing on there, can you let them know what's going on?
Yeah, so I got 2 shows on there, Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. It's called The Leap, and so I've interviewed a couple of people, and but it just almost seems like people just want to like just talk, and so it's been really, really good though. I mean, one thing I get is that I'm constantly communicating with the chat, and they love that.
That's
I guess
so important.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Think about it. But you got to think about it though. The superstars, bro. They have the luxury of sitting in front of the camera, eating a sandwich, and getting 100, 200, viewers at one time. And so the Sue Surfs and Jazz the Rappers, they don't have to look at the chat. The Tay Rocks, Rum Nitties, they don't have to look at K-Shine.
But it sucks.
Yeah, it does. But to me and you, but to the average fan who just wants to watch such and such roll a blunt, they're just like, yo, this is the most amazing thing ever. Yeah. But for me, like, they want a little more personality. So for in the Leap, man, I'm constantly answering. I try to answer every single question that pops up. I deal with the trolls, I deal with the fans, I deal with the love, I deal with the hate, and it's great. And so I do, UM3. I do my own bets, like with some of the fans there. I mean, whether we talk fantasy football, whether we're talking, battle rap, whatever we're doing, we're dealing with that. So that's Tuesday and Thursdays at 7 p.m. We're on for an hour. And then Sunday mornings, I have a show called Conversation with a Congregation. Shout out to Big Cannon, who gave me the blessings to use that title. Dope. And so I've been doing that Sunday mornings. And for me, being a Christian, I am well aware that a lot of people have questions and have they just want to have conversations, bro, with someone who is not going to necessarily have this stigma of like, yo, I'm gonna judge you, or I'm gonna just look down on you because I'm holier than that,
or I'm gonna force my beliefs upon you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Conversation with the Congregation is this time where I've told people, I said, look, I know it's mad early. It's Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. That's what I'm gonna go on. If you want to go on, come on. And I've been getting a good little group, bro. And so it's been a time where like I'll pray with them. I'll let them write their prayer requests in the chat, and I'll just pray for them. Or if they want to go ahead and converse or whatnot, like this morning, I let them request like whatever gospel song they wanted to, bro. And we were just jamming in there with each other. Wow. And so next week I got B-Dot coming on the show, you know what I'm saying? And so for him to go ahead, they'll be able to see B-Dot and I dialogue about our different beliefs and what that kind of looks like on how to agree in a friendly manner, you know what I'm saying? And how do we coincide? And so for me as a battle rapper, I know that they have a lot of questions like, Loso, how are you as a Christian able to just stand there when such and such says this or such and such says that? And so that's what Sunday mornings are. Conversation with the Congregation. It's been going great, bro. And even though that's less of a viewership that I've been getting because it's so early, I just know, Ledge, that a lot of these guys, they don't want to step foot into a church, but they might turn on caffeine for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and sit with Loso and just get some encouraging words before they start their week off. Boom.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I like it because you definitely got the cachet. People from all walks vouch for you. I've seen Bad News who done been through it, who's totally opposite. Be like, it's funny that the realest brother in the game is Loso, and so like you getting love and co-signed by everybody, so that's dope. One of the little because I finally got somebody on here who knows something about sports. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a Lions fan?
No. I'm a Patriots fan, so I'm a little mad at y'all for y'all took Brady from us. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to ask this, man, because Florida has got a stigma of being called a bandwagon sports, like because of LeBron going to Miami. We got Brady in Tampa Bay, man. I just want to know what's up. Like, are y'all like once Brady leave, is people still gonna be riding with the Bucks?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, bro. No, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. But look, you're gonna have other Tampa fans, just like I kept it real. We having a conversation on Twitter about like Florida not necessarily being Southern.
Yeah,
bro. I always keep it 1,000 with people, bro. Like, look, I am Tampa to the core, right? I love Florida to the core of me. But I'm always 100% real. And so, bro, it's true. Like, look, I'm going to be honest. I was going to Bucks games maybe 2 years ago. And because Jerry McCoy was out here, right? And so Jerry McCoy, big supporter of battle rap.
Absolutely.
He was ending up getting me in the games. And, bro, when I tell you, up and down Dale Mabry, which is the street where Raymond James Stadium, where the Bucks play at.
Okay.
If a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has a huge fan base, if they're playing the Bucks, you would have thought we were in Pittsburgh that day, bro. Black and yellow everywhere. Dallas Cowboys everywhere, bro. Like, I mean, like it depends on, and it doesn't matter what team. Green Bay when they come to Tampa,
cheeseheads,
cheeseheads, bro. And so Tampa is just terrible with supporting their teams and having true fans. Now, granted, when Tom Brady came to town, there was this energy in the air, right? But it was still like, I still got it. Not until they started stringing wins in the playoffs, and not even until they got into the Super Bowl, bro, was I seeing like, yo, all this red, all this Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the thing about it though is that like, you got to take it though, Ledge. You would think like we would be upset, but for me, Like I tell people, like I don't want to disrespect the real, true Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. Like I call myself a Tampa Bay supporter. Like I support the Bucks, I support the city, and I root for them because it does well for the city. But like, there's legit fans who were rolling with them when they were when Jameis Winston was throwing 30 picks, bro.
Wow.
But now, yeah, bro, you got people all up and down like Tampa. Damn, I'm like, yeah, whatever, dog. So you're right. I'm not.
Okay.
I am not opposed to that mentality. I'm pretty sure the Heat was even Miami was even worse, but especially because he was LeBron. But you got to think about LeBron and Brady, two goats coming to your state. You got to take it, bro. And that's a Super Bowl. Like that's a Super Bowl. It wasn't like you just won more games than you did last year. He brought a championship to the city.
Yeah, in year one, in season one. That's he's the GOAT, man. That's my guy. I'm just glad he didn't go to a team like the Cowboys. So I'm not mad he went to the Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
But were you? But Ledge, were you rooting for him though? Like, were you happy for him, or was there still a part of you where you were like, I don't like he can have some success, but I don't want him to win a ring?
Yeah, there was, just because I know the backlash was going to get back to us for not re-signing him, even though I would have signed him to a lifetime contract because I ride with him so heavy.
Yo, Ledge, that game when he goes to Foxborough, I could be wrong, but I saw tickets already like $1,500, bro.
Are you serious?
For when Brady goes to Foxborough in week 4. I think it's week 4.
Do you know what site that's on? That got to be like. Nah, that's not for 1,500.
Bro, it's Brady, the Super Bowl going back to go against his coach, bro, Belichick. That's not. I don't know if it's like straight off. You're right. It may be a little resale. It may be definitely. But bro, you're not finding nothing cheaper than that. Not now.
Not now. But week 4, so that's mad early though.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what week it was, bro. They're gonna go ahead and people are gonna tune in. It's gonna be a must-watch game, and it's gonna be a must-go-to game.
Yeah, if Boston was a little bit closer, I would definitely attend that. I definitely would attend that because I gotta see him. I seen him when he came here in preseason game versus the Lions and killed them. But I feel you though. It's cool to be a supporter. But fandom can overtake your rationale. Like because I knew you was just like, I'm like, he ain't really rocking with all these teams. I seen you. What battle was that? You had the Stamkos joint on because I'm a hockey guy too. I'm like, Loso ain't watching no Stamkos.
But this is the thing though. Wait. You right. I don't watch hockey. But what I try to do though, So
what battle was that?
That was against Moneybags.
Yes.
You know what's crazy? That was in Boston. Now, this is how you know I don't know about hockey. That was in Boston. That was literally maybe a couple days after Tampa knocked out the Bruins, bro. Mm-hmm. And so I'm walking up and down in downtown Boston, bro. And in Boston, it's like real life. Like you only rep Boston teams, bro. Like the Boston hats, bro. Like the Red Sox hats.
Ooh,
like
if you wore that hat that you got on now, you would be dead.
Bro, you would have thought it was like uniform for these guys. Like they were giving me dirty looks. I was like, yo, is it that serious? And Real Deal was like, yo, they just beat the Bruins. I was like, oh snap. But for me, I was walking through the mall in Tampa one day, and this was early on. It's probably like after my bad news battle, and somebody had recognized me, right? And he was like, yo, man, I'm a big fan, bro. Thank you for putting on for Tampa. And when he said that, I was just like, man, I never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different, every battler has this, but there's so many different things that you're quote unquote putting on for, right? Like for me, I get a lot of like Christians saying, yo, thank you for being bold in this era of battle rap. I get Puerto Ricans and Colombians, yo, thank you so much for repping us. You know what I'm saying? And then even Tampa, just the city or whatnot. And so I try to make it my business to showcase that, whether even with my apparel. And so that's why I end up getting a Stamkos jersey. Yeah. And so I'm looking for this authentic Mike Allstott throwback Bucks jersey. Oh, that's I've done a raised joint, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that I'm repping something about Tampa every time that I'm on stage. So that's why you end up seeing that at that time. But yeah, so I don't watch it all the time. But I definitely, it's for my city, though.
Would you get the, because people used to crap on this one. They used to call this hideous, the throwback creamsicle Bucks joint.
Yes, that's the one I'm looking for.
Oh, that's the one I'm looking for?
I'm looking for the creamsicle.
I always thought it was kind of fire. So
yeah, I thought it was too. Yeah.
So, but yeah, and shout out to speaking of people bigging you up for Christian. I don't know if you've seen it, but we kind of tagged you in it. He's from England, Rap Redux, who did like a YouTube video highlighting the history of Christians in battle rap. It is so
killed it, bro. Killed it.
Salute to you, bro. I always gotta show you love, man, because you really do a lot of research and editing, and it's well.
He killed it, man.
Okay, so you did see it. Yeah, it's good. Good.
Yeah, bro. I did, bro.
Like that was fire. Like it.
That was amazing, man.
Yeah, one of the best out here. Please support his channel if you guys are
and I'm so happy he highlighted Saga the way he did, bro, because I think a lot of people, you know, when Saga came in, you know, obviously to be the first unashamed, like a guy who wore it on his sleeve type of thing, right? On the biggest platform. You know, so when Street Hymns came in, it was like another guy. When Loso came in, it was like, oh, he's like the guy. A Ward had his run where he's like the guy. And like, you know, it's kind of like bouncing Loso Ward or whatnot in these conversations. But like, I always want to make sure that people understand, like, regardless of like we let y'all have that conversation, who y'all think the best horseman is. But regardless of that, Saga taking that first step, like being the first one out there like that, and no blueprint on how to operate like in a realm like this, in a vicinity like this as a Christian. I said he doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. And your man's, what's his name again?
Jay, just Jay from Rap Redux.
Like Jay, bro, thank you so much, bro, for highlighting Saga the way you did.
That was dope.
I mean, I just think that it goes unnoticed a lot, but that was beautiful, man.
Yeah, it really was. I'm subscribed to your channel, Jay, man. Like, you do incredible work all the time, every upload. Man, Loso, look, bro, the people should be happy with this one because we've talked about it all, from your current battle, your upcoming battles, the past, champion of the year. We got into some sports talk. I always say you, A Ward, and Chef Trez, like, you guys are the few who I actually believe really be watching sports like that. I can tell. Some of them battle rappers be saying sports references that be incorrect. I'm like, that ain't, they don't even play for them.
I got some crazy hot takes. So, like, I always tell people, don't take my hot takes as, like, knowledge, but like I definitely football, basketball, bro. I'm always watching.
You asked a fire question about Jordan and Tiger that I thought was interesting about.
And because I was watching the Tiger documentary
on HBO.
And, yeah, bro, and it was amazing, man. It was so good. But I watched it, and the reason why I had to ask that question is because, granted, growing up, Tiger was such an icon that if you didn't watch golf, you knew the name. But I just wanted to ask the question, because granted, his scandal obviously ruined what probably could have been the greatest. I don't know, the greatest athlete probably, right?
Absolutely.
But at his peak, what was he, Jordan-esque?
Yeah.
And a lot of people felt like he was, bro.
Yeah, without question. I think if, like you said, if you can have an impact for people who don't even watch the sport like that, but would turn on if it's a Sunday and you're in the final pairing, like from the hood, just like, is he gonna get this? And you click, like that's him. That's different. That is different, man. So that was dope stuff. So follow Loso. You see his handles on IGN, Twitter, everything. Loso is like, so he's way beyond just battle rap. That's why he's one of the best people to follow and get in contact with. My guy, I humbly appreciate this, and thanks for pulling up, bro.
Man. Yo, let's not wait 3 years to do this again, Larry.
I got you, man. I'm gonna hit the horn, man. I'll holler at you for real, man. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Good Morning Battle Rap. Peace and love.